What's up, Alabama fans? This is Brandon, aka Fresh, COO of Touchdown Alabama, dropping in with another video, and I'm not going to delay this. I'm going to jump right into this. I told y'all that I have sourced information from the first Alabama scrimmage of how Alabama looked, what you can expect to see from Alabama this year, and this is an extremely valuable and extremely reputable source from someone who was in attendance, someone's judgment that I trust as it relates to all matters of football and competitive, especially at this level. And I just asked this individual a very simple question. Just asked him, how did Alabama look? Just very curious because, media is not allowed to participate or view the practices or the scrimmages mainly. And the response that I received was very poignant, very simple, and very profound. And that response was, I feel sorry for Alabama's opponents this year. Let that sink in just for a moment. I feel like that type of sentiment has been echoed a lot of times for a Nick Saban team. However, based on someone of my ilk, I'm a coach myself. I've been coaching basketball for over 10 years now at the high level, all the way up to high school, professional. I've been a part of a professional league. Some of you may know that. So I've seen it at the highest of levels. So there's no need to sugarcoat anything. And if someone that I value their opinion on as it relates to competition, if you see a good team, say, oh, they're good, I think they're going to have a really good year. That's what I would expect for him to say if they were just good. I say, okay, cool. If they were really good, you say, hey, they're looking really good now. I like how they're moving the ball, I like how they're looking on offense and on defense. Alabama, they'll probably be in again, in the national championship conversation. But you take that and you take it a step further and you say, I feel sorry for their opponents. So from a basketball perspective, for those of y'all who might be, basketball aficionados like myself, it would be like, I would say that if I were to watch Michael Jordan's 1995 Bulls team, I'm sure whoever was privy to watch them in preseason and whatnot, they probably said, man, oh man, this team, I feel sorry for the NBA. Like, so when I saw that information, when I received that information, that's pretty much where my mindset was, because he could have said, man, they look good, they look good, and just left it at that. But it was like, no, I feel sorry for their opponents. That means that offensively and defensively, and I'll even throw in special teams there's something that he saw, or this individual saw in this scrimmage, that led me to believe that this team is probably clicking on all cylinders already this early. This is just a scrimmage number one. So let me run this down real quick. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because you've already been given the information. But let's just run this down just a moment. So let's look at the offensive side of the ball. So minus two very good receivers in John Mechie and Jamison Williams, that's where you're kind of like, okay, where is the receiving threats going to come from? All right. So you do have that as a potential, slight hurdle, but the talent is unquestioned. Ja'Cory Brooks, JoJo Earl, Aaron Anderson, Trayshawn Holden, Christian Leary. Do I need to go on? Thaiu Jones-Bell. Nick Saban did mention his name in a recent press conference. So there's a host of receivers that, there's just too much talent. And you have a quarterback like Bryce Young, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, projected to be probably the overall number one pick in the 2023 NFL draft. He's your quarterback. So you got an elite quarterback with extremely good receiving talent. You have a tight end that's returning who burst on the scene last year. You expect him to probably pick up where he left off. And then you have multiple running backs who can assist. So you have Jahmyr Gibbs into the mix now. You have Trey Sanders, a former 5-star who was just trying to get his legs from underneath him last year. He mentioned just recently he's starting to feel a lot more confident now. I think we're going to see the Trey Sanders that everybody expected when he came out as a 5-star a couple years ago. You still have Jace McClellan, who should be at full strength, you would assume, or very close to it. Roydale Williams, by the time the season comes around, he should be at worst 85% to 90%, I would imagine, coming off of his leg injury as well. So you still have the running back core or group of running backs to assist in the passing game. And then now let's look at the offensive line. All right, so I'm not going to go into every name, but let's just talk about what we kind of do know. The center position, I believe, is locked up with Seth McLaughlin. I thought that he did an exceptional job as Alabama center. And I don't know how in the world he got buried down the depth chart. That is another conversation in and of itself with Doug Marrone. I'm not sure what he was doing in practice. I'm not sure what he was evaluating with the lineup that he even allowed to even go out there. But I digress. I'm not even going to go into that. But Seth McLaughlin, Javion Cohen, Emil Ekiyor. So you have 3 returning offensive linemen that all 3 played, fairly decent all of last year. I'm expecting that J.C. Latham will secure either a guard spot or the right tackle spot. One of the two. And then you still have Kendall Randolph, who Nick Saban highlighted him early on in spring practice, where he says he's been looking really good. I honestly believed or thought was kind of expecting him to take the right tackle spot last year. Again, I'm trying not to go in on this, but I'm still trying to figure out how Chris Owens, who never probably played tackle a day in his life, all of a sudden decided to be a part of that whole offensive line situation. But again, that's neither here nor there. So I believe that you'll see better talent, because you can still throw Damian George in there. I thought that he looked okay in the first time he was thrown out there. Not so much the second time he went out there. But another year, another spring and fall practice to have under his belt. I believe that line will be better overall than what it was last year. And that's still not even mentioning Darian Dalcourt, who was also a starter last year as well. Then you go to the defensive side of the ball, and I've already said this in the last video. If you've already listened to it, you already know where I stand on that. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time. But you can probably say that Alabama has at minimum 8 to 9 starters back, depending on how you decide to do the starting. I'll run through it very quickly. I'll say I'll put these guys in the starting mix. So let's just count this out: Dallas Turner, Tim Smith, DJ Dale, Will Anderson, Henry To'oTo'o, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jordan Battle, Brian Branch. We're at 8 right now. And then I'll throw in a combination of DeMarco Hellams and Malachi Moore. We'll just say 9, okay? So Alabama has anywhere from 8 to 10 starters returning on defense. And not to mention, you still have your special teams. You still have Will Reichert, all right, who was once perfect just a couple seasons ago. James Burnip, who doesn't necessarily punt the ball that far, but his net is very impressive due to the style that he kicks with or punts with. So you have at all 3 levels, all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams, minus your kick return and punt return. But I think you'll see JoJo Earl take that those punt returning duties at full time. Kick return, I think you'll see a mixture of Jahmyr Gibbs, Aaron Anderson, JoJo Earl. One of the 4 or 5 star 4.3 speed guys. I'm sure you'll see somebody back there who is very prevalent in the returning game. So you have a lot of different areas where this Alabama team can really hurt, and the experience. They were young last year. All right, they were young. So expectations are always high on Alabama, but just for them to even be in the national championship game, to be within a score or a drive away from potentially tying or winning a national championship is an accomplishment in and of itself. So you take that, you take a quote unquote young team after, having all types of talent in the 2021 draft, that 2020 season, you come back with a new quarterback, he wins the Heisman, and you come back with a new starting running back and all types of other conversations we could talk about with that team. And then you bring a good amount of those guys back, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, I can see, without me actually being there, why somebody would say 2022 teams need to watch out. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for you. Not my words. Somebody who has firsthand knowledge and information. And even Nick Saban himself, you see in the pictures him smiling, all right? Smiling all through practice. His hair's not falling out. So that could be a potential sign as well that he likes what he's seeing. He has been very positive, and he's been saying some really good things about the guys. And it's only been one scrimmage. And that was even before the scrimmage. He's been saying that he's liked what he's been seeing so far. So that's a good thing. We haven't even gotten to fall camp yet. So again, that's the big nugget that I wanted to share. That is sourced information. Very good, highly credible source that I trust. And anything else that I hear, I would be more than happy to share, if provided, again, you continue to hit this like button. Need those likes, need those comments in there, but also we need those subscribers. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share the channel with others. All right, don't be stingy. That's not fair. All right, don't be stingy. Let everybody else know that's an Alabama fan, that Touchdown Alabama is increasing their content. We're going up in 2022. All right. So again, if you haven't hit the like button, please make sure you do that. Please subscribe to the channel. Again, if you're not following any of our other social media pages, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, TD Alabama Mag, follow us on Twitter, TD Alabama Mag as well. And again, you'll hear from me here in another video soon. But I'm signing off. Brandon, aka Fresh, signing off. Take care.